you are watching Over the Back Fence, a conversation among neighbors. My name is Susan Laux, and this is a Neighborhood Falmouth production. So today we have a variety of conversationalists, including Jackie Pratt, Marian Bihari, Mary Pat McKenzie, and me. So our first topic today is birthdays, because we have a special birthday today, Mary Pat. And yes, birthday. So we've all had birthdays, and some people love them, some people hate them, and some people, have you ever had a surprise party? Have you ever given a surprise party? Have you ever had a really memorable, good or bad birthday? Or how do you feel having your birthday today, Mary Pat? So you're going to be the first one, Mary Pat.
And the guinea pig.
Yes.
I feel fine. I've been pruning the rhododendron bushes all morning.
You have. I'll have to ask you about that later, because I didn't know that you should be pruning at this time. But anyways.
Oh, well, no, you're right. We'll discuss the plant requirement
and maintenance in another episode.
Yes. So it's weird. I in fact, about an hour ago, one of my friends from Vancouver, British Columbia called, and we have been friends since we were 2. And our parents and grandparents were friends before that. And she couldn't wait to jam me because her birthday was last week and she already hit the 70. So it was one of those, like, how old do you feel? we did kind of laugh about it, because I suppose she and one of my cousins who died a few years ago, we all had birthdays the same week in April. And so as kids, I mean, her voice was, since I don't have my cousin Mary's voice, the one thing I would always hear on my birthday. It was very positive.
Oh, nice.
Not what my grandchildren said to me earlier in the day, but my conversation.
What did they say?
Well, Ted was kind and said, he just turned 9 a couple of weeks ago, and he said he didn't feel any older, so I shouldn't. And Harry said 70. Oh, that's old. He was 7 last Tuesday.
Oh, so you're 10 times his age.
Yes,
That's right. That's right. I told him that. That meant I was 10 times smarter. That didn't go down so well.
Did you get anything special for this very?
No, I'm waiting. Donald ordered a piece of art from Bermuda. So, but Bermuda is shut down. I would like to go and pick it up in Bermuda.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but they're closed off. So I don't think we're not dealing with that for the moment. But, it doesn't, one way or the other, it's just kind of like, it's another birthday.
Yeah, so you're not, the big birthdays don't get.
No. You know which one did? I was 50 and I was sitting at a bus station in Clinton, New Jersey, thinking, this is no way to spend your 50th birthday. And I was there because we had 2 French exchange students, 2 12-year-old boys, Julien 1 and Julien 2, because they're both named Julian. And they drove me completely insane for 2 weeks before that. They had us evicted from the Capitol building in Washington. They were too young to be exchange students, for starters, and I was crazy to say yes. And I got them down to that bus station for a noon bus at 9 a.m. It was like, they're getting on it. They're leaving.
Oh my goodness.
That was a memorable birthday.
Oh my God.
Best present was they're gone.
They're gone. So how about either of you guys who had a surprise party, given a surprise party, had a particularly notoriously bad or good birthday? What do you remember?
Well, we've given a couple of surprise parties to some of our friends, but my most memorable birthday was 5 years ago, when I turned the big 70 like Mary Pat. And Mike wanted to do something special, so we invited 45 people to celebrate my birthday. We rented a place and he made all the food from
Wow.
soup to nuts. And I don't think after that he could do much more. It was so tiring, but it was just a very memorable day. So um, I've had other birthdays that, I'm like Mary Pat, it doesn't matter. But I must say, my birthday this year, I had just had major surgery and I was able to come home the day before my birthday. So I was
Nice.
very grateful that I was still alive and I could celebrate my birthday. So this year it was quite a big deal, but my 70th was actually the most fun.
Wow. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And it must have been such a happy party.
It was, and there's a place called the Manor House in Lockstead, which you can rent.
I know that.
And
That's
we don't have room here in the house. The house is too small. So we rented it and everybody came there and it was really lovely. Really lovely. So
And you didn't have to do the dishes.
no, we paid somebody else to do the dishes. So that was very nice. Um, but everybody came, my son and his wife came and my granddaughters came. So, and they were the hostesses. So when they, at the front door, when people came in, we had a little piece of paper for them, you know, and they spoke to everybody, welcoming them. So it was fun.
Well, that
So
sounds
that's my
great.
That is
memorable.
cool.
Nice.
Yes.
Jackie, how about you?
I did have a surprise party at one point when I turned 50. Max was 12. She was a late light. I had my one child kind of later in life, but she decided she was going to throw me a party, and a bunch of people who I worked with at Gosnell were helping her out, and she did a bang up job. She really did. About the only thing that was kind of sad is she got all these black balloons. Were kind of more morbid,
Oh,
but to decorate with. But the thing is, people helped her out. Some people had brought things, but she ordered a cake. She did ask for a advance from the Bank of Mom so that she could pay for things, but she wouldn't tell me what she was doing or anything. And I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen, but it was a heck of a lot of fun. And a tiny house. We were renting a tiny house, but somehow we jammed everybody in. People sitting on the floor, people sitting on pillows. We had a great
nice.
time. Yeah, it was really nice. I think she was very proud of herself because she did such
Oh,
a really good job.
Well, I can't believe pulling off a surprise party.
right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
ambitious and impressive.
No, she had strong help. Yeah,
Yeah, but even to think of asking help, I mean,
Exactly.
I don't even know. I wouldn't even consider knowing how to do that
yeah.
at
Well,
12.
that is, now that I think about it, it was impressive.
Mm.
She knew who to go to. She knew 2 people she should go to, and they did help her out. So, and helped her make lists, and do all the things that she should do. But I hated 30 when I hit it. I wasn't happy about 50. But the thing is that 70, it just kind of happened. But the thing that this birthday, I got a whole lot of really nice emails and stuff from people from neighborhood Falmouth. But I was so pissed because I was 74, not 75, and they weren't. And I thought, never again in this universe will somebody be sitting and bemoaning that they're not a year older.
Well, now you'll be like warmed up to the idea of 75.
Yeah.
And next year people will be like, oh, she's lying about her age. She was already 75. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Well, I can tell you, I think my most memorable birthday, and I might have shared this with some of you before, um, in my 30s, back in my 30s when I was not a parent and I was unmarried and I was living the vida loca, we traveled, I traveled with friends here or, wherever, and happened to be with some friends in Portugal. And we couldn't find a place to stay, but the people, one of my friends I was traveling with knew some people who lived in a castle. And so we went knocking at their doors saying, "Hi, do you remember us?" I'd never met them, but we can't find any place to stay. Can we stay in your castle? And they said, we'd love to have you, but we already have 4 visitors who are visiting, and you can't do it. So we tried to find a place to stay, and we came back and we said, we're totally can't find anything. They said, "Fine, we'll put you up on the 4th floor in the servants' quarters." Yeah, okay, no problem. So they had 8 house guests with us. No, there were 3 of us. And so we made 7 house guests. And anyways, so the next morning they said, "Well, do you want to go for a walk at the abandoned castle next door?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, definitely." They said it's an underground thing. And so there was like wasn't a cistern, but there was some like hole in the ground. So we went through a fence, and then there was this big like spiral column almost that we went down into the ground and around and around and around, and they gave us all candles, and then we lit the candles and we went through this tunnel. And really we weren't in the castle itself, the castle next door. We were in the tunnels underneath the castle next door. And anyway, so we're walking through this tunnel, dark, 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 and with the candle. And turns out I was the one in front, and there were bats flying overhead, and the people I were with were all kind of, and the other guests were like, "Oh, bats," and whatever. And I was just like walking, 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 walking. Anyways, I was 32 that day. And all of a sudden you hear this echoing through the tunnel, "Happy birthday to you." And it was like, and I got thinking, like, how many people are getting sung happy birthday to while they're walking through a tunnel with bats and a candle in a castle next door in Portugal? This is cool. So anyways, it was kind of fabulous. So
That was a memorable birthday.
memorable,
Very.
totally memorable.
Very memorable.
And
So
and
what was at the end? What was at the end of the tunnel?
you know what? I cannot tell. I think it actually worked its way up to the ground level. I think there was
okay.
a light at the end of the tunnel, and I
Yes.
think we got there. So but I actually remember being in the tunnel more than any other part of it, And then I actually have a surprise party story, which is we did give a surprise party probably a few years before that, maybe in my late 20s or around that same time, for my friend Phil in December. And he lived in an apartment where you unlocked the door and then you walked up a flight of stairs, and then you were in the apartment. So even when you went through the door below, you were in the apartment, but to get to the part where you lived in, you had to go up a flight of stairs. So we had all somehow, somebody gave us a key and we were all ready to like jump out at him and blah, blah, blah. So Phil makes it to the top of the stairs and we all scream at him, "Happy birthday, surprise!" And he, was like, and finally he stayed. He did not fall backwards down the stairs. He did not fall forward down the stairs. He did not fall down the stairs. But for the rest of the entire party, he was like, "I could have fallen down those stairs." And we were all like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. We're so sorry." So it was kind of a happy surprise birthday party, but it was also the surprise birthday party that almost killed our friends. So,
And I'm sure he remembers it to this day.
and that's what you want, isn't it? Memorable. Oh my God.
Right.
Any other birthday memories? Anything?
Oh, one thing I could say, I was very close to my mother-in-law, and she was a very generous lady. And when she turned 65, we wanted to do something special for her. So we bought her 65 gifts. Now,
Wow.
some of them were big, some of them were little tiny things. And she was living in New York, and we went to her apartment, and we had bags and bags of gifts. And we walked in and she said, "What is all this?" And so we sat her down and we said, "Happy 65th birthday." And it must have taken her almost an hour to open up all the gifts. And she said it was her most memorable birthday, getting 65 gifts, but she really did remember that. So, and I couldn't tell you right now what kind of gifts they were, but I do remember it was a really fun thing for her to do. So,
Oh my, was that your
That's
idea?
cool.
yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah.
Did you
And it
come
was
up with
really
that
hard to
idea, Mary?
figure out what to get for her.
I bet.
So you got her something of everything.
We got her something of everything, and one of her favorite things, she was a real plant lover, especially succulents and cactus. So I think one or two of the plants, one of the gifts we got her were plants. I honestly can't remember. Books and all
Yeah.
kinds of things like that.
Sweet.
But we had 65 of them.
Wow.
Cool.
You,
Now, I will tell you one you don't want to have, and I think I mentioned it in a different meeting we had. When my youngest child was turning 4, I believe, he wanted to have a birthday party. There used to be this penny whistle party guide for children's birthday parties, and we had a copy, and he chose to have a pig party, which is normally done in the summer. But John's birthday is in February. And so I said, okay. I mean, like I was obviously completely brain dead at the time.
what is a pig party?
A pig party is you create the barn, but it's winter. It's supposed to be outside. It's in the house for all these little boys. So I got bales of hay and spread them on the floor in the family room and filled those garden troughs with chocolate pudding for them to do snout in the mud.
In the house.
Oh, in the house. Oh, yes, it was in the house. You cannot even visualize how bad the mess was. Needless to say, all these little boys loved it.
Oh my God, you
Oh,
would be
sure.
the
Came
best
to pick the
mother
kids
ever.
up were like, we never, ever, ever want to see that book, and don't ever do this again. And then I had to clean up, and for some reason, obviously it all went to my head because hay goes everywhere in the house. It doesn't like stay where it's supposed to. And 2 bales of hay is a lot of hay. And I decided I would use the leaf blower to clean.
Oh, Mary.
God,
Oh,
no.
So
Mary,
instead, so instead of like using a vacuum that would suck it up, I thought it was going to plug the vacuum, but the leaf blower would be good because I'd blow it out the slider door. It doesn't work that way.
oh my God.
It does not work that way. So yeah, I would avoid that party book if you're ever
I think so.
having a children's party.
You must be have
Wow.
been the best mother ever.
No,
Ever.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it
My
was just like
God.
total distraction.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I would have
was
loved
bad.
a pig party. Yeah, that would have been a mess.
Oh yeah, and it was. I mean, if it was outside, it would have been fine. It
Oh,
was.
sure.
right.
It
They could
was
have
not.
hosed them down or leaf blown them off or something.
He still has those friends, and they remember that party.
I'm sure they do.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Any last comments on birthday?
I was pretty good at giving parties for Maxine. But no, I never ran across the book. It didn't occur to me to look for a book. I just kind of would sit down and try to figure out how I would keep the kids busy. And I would do scavenger hunts and that kind of thing. But one year I had a friend who had a pony, and she was
Oh.
willing to bring the pony and have pony rides in our
Oh,
back.
In the house or outside? Outside.
wow.
Just checking.
And I, but we had it was a little tiny house that was part of a condo conglomeration. And but there was a huge, big parking area. And her birthday is mid-September. Nobody else was there but us. We were the only year round, I think, at that point. But the thing is, she came and she said, "Listen, I have a temporary boarder at my barn, in addition to the pony. So I brought him along." And what it was a young elephant. So the kids were riding the elephant and the pony.
An elephant.
An elephant. And apparently it was taken, it was seized from someone who wasn't taking good care of it. And they were looking, and so it was temporarily at her barn until they could find a different placement.
Were you living in Falmouth?
Yep.
Oh my heavens.
And here in Falmouth?
Yes.
No, she was from Bourne. She had a
Oh, of course. That's
Oh,
so
yeah, but that's
that
different.
makes
Yeah, you could have an elephant and born.
I don't think they were going to mess with her. She was somebody who took in horses that had been, that
abused and yeah.
Abandoned.
stuff, and she was kind of part of that whole circle of people who are crazy about animals and hate to see them abused, and where can we put somebody temporarily? And but it was a very young elephant. We're not talking about full size.
Holy smokes.
And apparently it had like a special harness so you could ride him. So people had ridden him before. But
You must have gotten the best mother prize that year too. Holy smokes.
oh, well, I started to feel guilty because she was doing this completely on her own. And I thought, I would know. And I kept thinking, what if he doesn't want to go back in the truck?
Right.
Stampede or something, you step on one of the kids, but that would be me and my catastrophizing.
Yeah, but it crossed my mind. But at any rate, even if it was young enough, so if it had stepped on one of the kids, it probably wouldn't have been worse.
It wouldn't have broken much.
Yeah, it wouldn't have broken much.
Great news.
Life-threatening. But it was well behaved. It loved the pony, so it would kind of follow the pony
Oh,
around.
that's sweet.
Wow.
But it was so funny, And but the thing is, I invited her back the next year, but by then the elephant had gone. The kids were mightily disappointed.
I'm sure.
Oh my goodness.
The elephant would have been bigger too.
Yes, much.
Yeah, that would have been a little dicier, I bet.
It's a good thing they didn't come in the house.
No,
That's where the pigs are.
invited in the house. They weren't invited in the house. But I discovered that he liked cake, and he also liked corn. I had an ear of corn, and I gave it a try. He thought that was pretty good. So
I love it.
yeah.
Well, I
Wow.
think we should leave our birthday discussion right there. Thank you all very much for being part of this. Our next episode, we're going to discuss pets. So maybe the elephant will come back into the future story. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for joining us for Over the Back Fence, a conversation among neighbors. This is a production of Neighborhood Falmouth. Bye.